So let's go back to the 4th. September 4th, we start rehearsals. I think September, let's say 8th, everything starts. So we fly to Chicago, do a gig in Chicago, fly back to New York, do another gig in New York, take a day off to rehearse at MSG, right? So 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that makes sense. The 11th, we perform at Madison Square Garden. Jump on a plane from Madison Square Garden to Manchester. Because of the time difference, we pretty much jump right on stage, do the gig with Coldplay. Half of the band turns right around. We go to New York, go rest for a little while, do the VMAs. Jump on another plane, fly all the way to LA, another 6 hours. We do Jay Leno show. Jump on another plane, come back, land, do Glasgow. So it's like we get no rest, hit the plane, maybe take a shower at the venue, do the show.
How does that affect you as an artist?
The art part probably shuts down. At that point, we gotta go into like survival mode. This touring life, the touring life for musicians and anyone who does that touring stuff, the MCs, for everyone except for Jay. Like Jay still works really hard, but he got the nice G4 all the time, you know. So he's okay. Which is like the craziest story with that would be like, we were in the middle of the Heart of the City tour, and we're hearing he's getting married, and we're like, no, he's not. We got a show in freaking North Carolina. Right now, how is he getting married? And I'm like, oh yeah, he got a G4. Yeah, he could do that. That's entirely possible. So yeah, he could do some stuff that most normal people just cannot do. But yeah, like we go into survival mode. Like we just gotta get rest where we can, and our job is again to back up Jay, to make sure he sounds as great as possible, and then for that couple of minutes on stage, like everything is preparation for that couple of minutes that we are on live. Like we were only on Jay Leno show for like 5 minutes. We're only on the VMAs for 5 minutes. Like we prepare all day for those 5 minutes to come out as great as they can be. And then same thing with the show. Like we're doing sound checks, we're doing rehearsals, so that hour that you guys get to see us on stage, is proper.
So what are your thoughts on the way Kanye and Lil Mama behaved in the last week, and the way that's impacted things? Because obviously you've played the background role and you're very much in control of what you're saying, but it doesn't seem like those energies can be controlled as much by everybody else.
Man, well, the Lil Mama stuff, has she even said what she was doing? She
spoke to Tim Cash, who actually thank you for supporting Love Soul TV, Tim Cash. She spoke to him and she said that she was overcome with the energy. She jumped on stage. She felt like Jay was down with it because Jay was bopping at the same kind of pace as her, and then she realized after she got home that Jay said, "You're T-paining right now," or something like that, which is basically saying you're not supposed to be on this stage with me or whatever. And I watched the video after she said that, and he taps her on the thigh, goes forward, gets with Alicia for the final stance, kind of putting Lil Mama to the background. Then Lil Mama proactively comes up and becomes part of this new trio. What's your opinion on that?
She's crazy. Like, I haven't really heard much about it, but everyone's clowning her. Like, I don't know what was going on that stage. Like, there must have been something in the air or something that made people think like, yeah, I think I'll bum rush right now.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
You just don't bum rush Jay-Z and Alicia Keys.
Who knows, when they, like, VH1 does their top 10 lists of crazy bum rushing situations. I mean, ODB, rest in peace, he'll be the first. And then Lil Mama, I'm sure, will be somewhere in there. I don't know. I mean,
Kanye gonna be in there as well by the looks of things.
Of course.
But tell us about the Kanye situation. What do you think about that?
It's weird, like, because I am definitely one of these people that respect him as an artist. It's undeniable. Like, I mean, his beats are amazing. He's one of those artists that do push the envelope, like 808. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Like, love him or hate him, he is one of those people who do everything that everyone wishes they could do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Including going on stage and voicing their opinion and all that. I mean, personally, it's been pretty much established, like, he was out of line. He knows he was out of line in this particular case. And I hope at the end of the day he just gets better from it, because he is talented. And I've had the great opportunity to back him up as well, because he's been on stage with us a couple of times. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and all of us felt bad, mostly for Taylor, like when it happened. Yeah. And oddly enough, this is pretty funny, because of that little situation, I ended up getting like 400 followers on Twitter. I ended up twittering it, and I twittered it, and Miss Info, who was on Hot 97, she's a friend of mine, she retweeted what I wrote. Because Miss Info did it, and because I happened to be Jay-Z's DJ, everyone retweeted it. I was in USA Today.
Jay's like real kind of calm. It appears in the media. He doesn't really talk more than he needs to, or whatever it may be. And yet you've got these other people around him that maybe don't have that quality. Is there like an appraisal system at The Rock? Like, do they get disciplined? Like, what happens? Like, do people ever sit down and say, hey, you get 2 more chances like this, and then we're gonna. What's gonna happen to Lil Mama? I guess. Like, how does it get dealt with? Like, I know it's a business, and Jay's a businessman. How does it get dealt with behind closed doors?
You know what? I think at the level that Jay's at, he makes his life so that he doesn't have to deal with that type of stuff. So I haven't seen anything too crazy. Yeah, not at all.
And I guess in a normal job, if you mess around and, I don't know, fuck up a deal or whatever it may be, then your boss is going to sit you down and say, hey.
Yeah. And I'd imagine that you mess up, you don't really get a lot of chances that you out. I could talk about how it is with me and Jay, if you like.
Yeah, please.
Well, you got to remember me. I'm talkative here because we have a reason to talk, but for the most part, I'm that quiet dude. My particular personality is probably opposite to what Jay's used to working with. Jay's used to dealing with a Kanye. Jay's used to dealing with a Damon Dash, like those types. And so I think when he comes across someone like me is like, usually that's like a sign of weakness if you're like a certain way. So he messes with me, basically. He treats me like a little brother for the most part. Gives me messed up names and calls me nervous. DJ Nervous is like one of the whatchamacalls, but that's not really what it is. That's just how I am. I'm quiet. So stuff like that. But everyone kind of says, like, to me, even the band members are like, look, if Jay really didn't want you around, you wouldn't be here. So obviously you're doing something right. Yeah. Like, you're okay. Shoot, since I've been with Jay, I've done Glastonbury. I've performed in front of over 140,000 people, probably. I've DJed for Obama. I was the first. Like, it's weird, no one really ever says it, but Jay and myself were the first MC DJ combination to ever DJ for the White House, for a president, and for the first black president. Like, we were the essence of hip-hop for the first time on that stage. I got to do that. I've been on Jay Leno, I've been on David Letterman, I've been around the world and back. And it's because of my experience being a rock boy, backing up Jay, that I've been able to do all this.
Thank you so much, DJ Neil Armstrong, for hanging out with us.
No doubt.
And we wish you all the absolute best in your career. We're going to try and get over to the club tonight where you're the Doctor's Orders, where he's going to be at. Check out thedoctorsorders.com as well. Thank you so much for an absolutely fantastic interview.
Peace. Love Soul TV.